Good morning, YouTube. I'm back because I have a couple of requested videos of more with the etching doing the Brother ScanNCut. So we're going to do a couple of things here because I had two questions asked and also two requests. So the first one's first is we're going to etch on something that isn't the acrylic blanks. We're going to etch on these metal tags here. The premise is pretty much the same, but we're going to show it anyway for anybody else that may say that hasn't watched the other video. The second thing was fixing a broken image file. Now it's not broken per se, but for this particular application it's not working quite the way you want it to. So I will show you the process that I did to fix the image file that I was trying to work with. So let's get started. Okay, so we are over here on the Canvas workspace. Now you need to be on the computer program, not the online one, because the online one doesn't have the file, edit, layer, display, help. It doesn't have all that stuff up at the top, and you need to have that. So if you don't have the actual program on your computer, you need to go get that. Okay, next you need to go over to where it says SVG and you want to click on that. Okay, now that you're on your SVG and you want to import a file, I already have the folder open that I want, so I didn't have to spend time really finding it. And I know this particular one is the one that gives me an issue. So I'm going to pick that one, we're going to open it, and then we'll process it. Okay, so double check, make sure we're good. Okay, so this is what we're working with. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so I can see. Now, I know what the problem is. It's all in the letters on this particular image file. So what I want to do is I want to ungroup this. Oh, okay, it's already ungrouped. Okay, I want to separate this part up here from this part down here. So we're gonna make sure you select everything, and I'm gonna group it just to make it easier for me to move, and I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now this right here, the words, this is what's giving me problems here, so I'm gonna delete this. I know that sounds stupid, but this is how I had to do it. So next we're gonna go over to image tracing. Okay, so once you have the image tracing pulled up, you're going to pull up an image from your computer. I'm going to go back with this one. I'm going to find that image I'm looking for, and this one will be a PNG file. You're going to open that up. Okay, so once you have this, now you want to make sure you have, you don't want to trace just the outer edge. You want to trace all areas. And then to make this smaller, I want to just kind of go up and cut off some of the picture because I don't want to trace all of it. I'm going to have to include the mustache, which is fine because we don't really need it, but it makes it easier to make sure that all these letters are a part of it. So we're going to hit preview, and that's what you're left with. And then you're going to hit OK. Okay, now that you have this up here, and I know you're like, but it has everything on there again. It does. But we're going to separate this part. So this is the part where you ungroup everything. And if you notice, now all your letters are separate. Now you just want to take this and you want to move it away. We don't need this part, so we're going to delete that part. There. Now this part, we'll move it back. Now you can get rid of this mustache. You don't need this part. But it did help to line it up if you want to keep it. And you can align it. Now if you notice these parts right here, those are the parts that are actually going to wind up filling in, and I'll show you what I mean. So now we want all this filled in. So we're going to select everything, all these letters, and we're going to put fill. And we want to fill this in black. Now, like I said, these parts filled in. So now we're going to select them, and I'm going to do 2 at a time just because it makes it easier. And we're going to make them transparent. We're going to continue to do that with everything. Make sure you select the correct area, otherwise you're going to have it done. Okay, now you're pretty well done. You fixed this area. So now what I do is I go through and I group everything again so that way I can size it correctly. And you're done. The next thing is you want to, now that you have all of this selected, now you want to make sure everything is on draw. Because you're not cutting this out, you're going to draw it. So now that everything's on draw, now your file is ready to go. You size it, and you can put it on whatever you want to etch. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, so let's start on the little tags here. Now, you want to find your image, and once you get your image, we are going to load that into the Canvas workspace, because you want to find that. Now, on this one, I'm just going to do a simple text, so I'm not going to actually load a picture in there. So we're just going to use the text that's already on there. So let's go do that. Okay, so since I'm going to make this for my dog, I'm just going to do his name. His name happens to be Bucket. So we're going to go over here, and this is where your font is, and you're going to find here. Now I'm not sure if this drop-down menu is going to show you. It probably isn't, but you know, find whatever font you want. I'm going to do one that's easily read because you want it legible. If you're trying to get way too detailed with it, actually I'm going to stick with the original Antique Oakland. I'm not sure why they call it that, but okay. So if you're trying to get, you know, super detailed, just remember, the smaller the item that you're trying to engrave on, you know, you're going to lose some detail. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so we're going to, okay, Bucket, super simple. Now we're going to save this, and then we're going to take this over to the actual machine part. Okay, so I have my mat here, and since you can't really, hold on, let me turn on some better light. Since you can't really tape around this particular object, I'm just going to use some a tape runner. So I'm going to put this on the back, and it really doesn't matter which side. This side doesn't have a like that protective coating on there. It just comes like this, so just pick a side. And I'm going to try to make sure I have it real good. And if you're worried about your mat getting, you know, getting messed up, well, I mean, try to pick a mat that isn't super, you know, needed, you know, like an older mat. Pick an older mat. Okay, I don't think that's going anywhere. It's pretty stuck. So let's take this over to the machine. Okay, we got the mat loaded in the machine. We're going to head over here, and we're going to push this right here. And then we'll hit start. And it's going to scan the machine, or scan this mat, and scan this. Okay, and then it's going to transfer it. Okay, so the audio got messed up on here, so I'm going to have to do a voiceover. So basically, whenever you get, after you scan your mat, you want to go back to your computer, and you want to pull down the drop-down menu from File. Once you get File, you want to go to Import from your cutting machine, and then you want to get Scanned Image. that will bring over the image that you just got or that you just scanned on your machine, and then you will have your matte image. Then you want to lock that image. You want to go to layer, and then you want to hit lock. After you have that, that keeps it from moving and shifting and stuff like that, so that way you can line up your word or your image on whatever you're engraving. Then it's just a matter of putting in what you want. I had a little bit of issue with trying to find the word that I wrote because it was on the bottom layer. And so if you do it ahead of time, either move it off to the side, or if you click on the layers, you can see that it's underneath there, and you can get it back. But then you want to move it to the front, and you can do that on the ScanNCut. It's under alignment, and you want to move that object to the front. So that's what I did here. I moved it to the front, and then you're good to go after that. And then it's just a matter of aligning it, and once you get it there, you're good. The other part of it is, on this particular one, is if you notice the tag is upside down, because my mat, I put it in upside down. I didn't pay attention to it till later, but you'll definitely want to flip your word. I also filled in this one too to make it easier to be seen, because it was just an outline, and it won't fill it in if it's just an outline. If you want it filled in, you have to tell it to fill it in. I switched it to pink just to make it easier to see. It really doesn't matter, because it's not like you're putting actual colors on there anyway. I figured if I did black words, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I wanted you to be able to see it. So here's where I realized that I need to rotate the word, because it'll be upside down if I don't, and it's not like, it does you any good if the word's upside down. Once you get the image where you want it, then you send it back over to the machine and actually do the process. Okay, this is a direct replacement for in your machine. Put it in there, you lock it into place. This is already in there. Okay, so we're back in the machine, and we're going to go home. We're going to hit pattern. We're going to be retrieving it. Okay, there it is right there. It's really small. We're going to hit OK. We're going to draw, and then start. Okay, it's going to tell you to attach the appropriate holder. We did that. And you're going to have to hit start again. And then it's going to do its thing. I can already see the little piece moving, so you definitely got to find something that is very, very adhesive to put this on there. But it is on there, so we're going to remove it. Okay, it's actually the next day here, because my audio and a part of my video actually got messed up. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, after you see the actual process, you realize it was kind of a fail, because this shifted. And so when it shifted, if you can, okay, there you can see it real good. The word is not where I placed it. It's crooked as hell. Now, since it's just a test piece, it's not that big of a deal. I can flip it over and I can try it again. I suggest, if you've never done it on a material other than a larger piece, have multiples and secure it very well. I didn't put enough of the tape runner on there. I should have put something else on there. I should have done even spray adhesive, excuse me, something, you want that, you don't want that moving, because that's exactly what happened to me. It moved, and that's what will happen if it doesn't jack up your mat altogether. So secure your item. Make sure your placement is correct. That's about the only thing I can tell you when it comes to these like this. This one would have been really hard for me to tape down. Would it have been impossible? No. But I will try it again. But take your time. It's not something you want to just rush through, because I don't know about you, but these are not unlimited. You know, when you get them, you don't want to waste a bunch of them, because it's not like they're reusable once they're etched, unless you figure out how to sand them off there, which I guess is possible. But so good luck. I hope I helped everybody, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.